headset mic for that. Sorry, I was...
Bam.
Oh, by the way, what are we going to play at the start? Like, we're not going to bother playing it in the midst of this, but...
I request Simple and Clean.
Simple and Clean from Jet Set Radio?
Nope, from Kingdom Hearts.
Simple and Clean Kingdom Hearts, right?
Mm-hmm.
2.8?
No, it's actually from the first game.
But
they've
there's
remixed it for like every other game.
And they have the Ray of Hope, which is apparently this.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're listening to the Ray of Hope mix.
Yes, that's the new one.
We'll listen to this for a second, and then we'll put it in, or like a clip of it in.
By the way, we're live.
That's alright. Like you said, this is a test one. Like, there are so many things we have to get figured out before we can actually do a stream, especially with Scott.
Yeah.
So... Oh my god, this is such a busy mix.
It really is a busy mix. I don't like that mix.
Well, that's what you get in the HD 2.8 final chapter prologue.
I guess it feels better when you're watching the video with it.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
It's got a little bounce to it.
It's July 16, 2017. You're listening to the Fancy Ramen Podcast. I'm Neil.
I'm Cookie.
And the track we opened with is called Simple and Clean, specifically the Ray of Hope mix from Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8. Cookie, why are we listening to this particular song?
Because the hype train for Kingdom Hearts has arrived, and I'm jumping on 100%. So Summer Games Done Quick happened. We kind of missed it. Didn't realize what was going on when it was going on. Otherwise, we probably would have mentioned it in the last podcast. But since then, I've watched a couple of games get beat. I watched a speed run of Kingdom Hearts 2 and was like, oh, that was nice. I kind of missed this game. And then today, this morning, actually, a new trailer came out for Kingdom Hearts 3. And it got me super stoked. So, this morning, after watching that trailer, I decided to go ahead and play Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD remix, whatever, blah blah blah, something something, final chapter, reverse cover, X plot, 96,000, secret chapter. The one where you're using Aqua. And
Wait,
I beat it.
So you beat the whole game, or just the extra content that came with it?
Technically the whole game. Because it was a standalone game.
Was it a... Did you beat it with the knowledge you gained from watching the speedrun?
No.
Okay, it was a casual play.
Completely different game, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I watched Kingdom Hearts 2, but there's an extra chapter in Kingdom Hearts 2.8 that's actually a prequel to Kingdom Hearts. So it's like a prequel. It happens somewhere in between Kingdom Hearts before Kingdom Hearts and right at the end of Kingdom Hearts. So if anyone's actually played Kingdom Hearts besides me, at the end of part 1, when Riku is closing the door to the Realm of Darkness, you see Mickey holding a Keyblade, like his silhouette. They actually pay homage to that scene, and it makes sense as to why he's shirtless in that scene, like way back in the day. Because you never see him shirtless in this entire series. But for this one scene, he like
His
just
shirt
out of
gets
a-
singed off, and now he's
Quite literally singed off. Quite literally. I'm all in. 2018. Let's go. Let's get it. Can't get here soon enough.
Yeah, with the amount of promotional content we've seen at this point, because we also got something a couple days before E3, fully expecting like a big full trailer or teaser to come out during TGS this year. I think it might be safe to say it's 2018,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now we've just jinxed it.
Pretty much. I'm all in. So currently, I have watched somebody beat Kingdom Hearts 2. I beat the prequel, prologue, chapter, final mix, blah blah blah. And I'm currently watching the theater mode of Kingdom Hearts 1.
So where does this particular song come in? Is it one of the ending sequences, or
Nope, beginning, title
Beginning?
sequence.
Okay, that's great, because then we don't have to talk about spoilers too much. Light spoilers anyway, anyways, I guess. But
Light spoilers of what? Kingdom Hearts?
2.8.
Oh. I can't explain that without, like,
Yeah,
drawing a Venn diagram and...
I guess that makes sense, because how are you supposed to be spoiled if you can't understand it anyways? And if you do understand it, you've probably played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I will... I can't even say it's heavy spoilers. It's... You know when you're really deep into a show and you really like it and you try to explain it to your friend, but you only explain it using, like, the real deep stuff that no one will get unless you've dug in and understand it? That's all this game is. Pretty much. And that is what this game is. Like, I understand the story now. I understand it. Like, it, like, tied up.
You just
A
had
lot
to
of
play
loose ends.
2.8, and then it all came together. Who would have known that 2.8 was the absolute key,
Eh.
the keyblade to the story?
Oh my goodness. Like, and now I'm just like, oh, this totally makes sense as to why this, and this is going on. Sweet. Super stoked. And they kind of explained in the new trailer and are in 2.8. I'm not 100% sure which video I saw. Nope, 2.8. They explain what's going on in 3 a little bit better.
So now that you've accepted the hype train, are you ready to
Be disappointed.
enter treatment for it?
What?
Acceptance is the first step to recovery.
Ah. Oh, my acceptance will just come through, and then we won't see Kingdom Hearts until we see, I don't know, Half-Life 3? Why not? Like they've announced it.
Yeah. Well, in Valve's defense, I think at this point they never need to design another video game.
In Valve.
They're amazing at designing clients, apparently, but video games... I understand a lot of people loved Half-Life 2, and I understand... It's one of those cases where, you know, I have all the respect in the world for Bob Dylan. I don't like listening to his music, though.
It's got a few good songs.
Yeah, but that's also like saying that Eiffel 65 has one good song.
Do they have more?
They have a whole catalog of, albums. I would say at least 2 or 3 albums, but the only song that I'm assuming got any airtime was Blue, right?
Wait,
That's
are we not talking about the 99 Red Balloons
No,
band?
that is that's some European band, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it, Scott?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Luft. It just sounded like a character from Wolfenstein. That's all I remember. Anyways, though, I get it with Half-Life 2, but I just maybe it was the point at time in which I played Half-Life 2. It was far enough along the road that it was not necessarily that entertaining for me. Like I loved Portal, and I love Portal 2.
And you love Team Fortress 2.
I actually don't mind Team Fortress 2.
So that's like 3 of the 4 games they've made.
Yeah, right. I get that. It's just everyone always talks about like this major hype for Half-Life 3, and I don't necessarily understand. It feels like maybe this is what everyone else thinks about Twin Peaks, and how like a much smaller population, mind you, were super ecstatic for Twin Peaks season 3, and there's that same type of feeling behind this desire for Half-Life 3. Like knowing the story of Half-Life, I don't know. I don't know where they would take it. I also don't know mechanically where they would go. But this is completely off topic. What else have you been playing, Cookie?
Well, haven't been playing much this week. Like I said, Summer Games Done Quick happened. So I also watched a speed run of Zelda Breath of the Wild twice.
So, holding back on spoilers, are you able to just leave the plateau and go straight to the boss?
Well, at least not in that run. So I've seen video footage of a glitch that allows you to leave the plateau without doing the thing.
The glider. I think that much we can say without a spoiler tag.
Okay,
without getting the glider.
There's this very specific thing you can do to get off the plateau and it not kill you and allow you to go without the glider.
But that's not part of the speed run.
Nope. Half of that speed run was quite literally getting the glider.
So the glider's important to the end game?
The glider's the tutorial to get off.
Well, right. I get that. But why wouldn't you just do the glitch to get off the plateau to cut down your speedrun time? Or is this like a...
It was a non-glitch speedrun.
Okay.
On a technical note, they did have like negating fall damage. They've got a way to do infinite sprint.
Oh, you negate fall damage just by getting your Link to roll when you fall. It's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how you do it in every other game. Just roll, man. In the Deku tree? I thought you could always still roll by that point. Yeah, sorry, without getting off topic.
It doesn't... Basically what you're saying is it doesn't really compute to how you experience the game. So it's like, oh yeah, that was cool. I'm never going to be able to do that.
Or would never have the desire. is that how they do it in the glitch run?
I never watched the. I don't. Did they have a glitch run? Like a glitch run?
Well, I imagine because otherwise, I mean, I feel like half of the summer or half of the games done quick speedruns I've seen are glitch runs that involve something like I'm going to go into the menu while I'm pushing down. I think this is with Wind Waker. You go into some menu as you're pushing down, and then you push up after you've gone out of the menu, or maybe while you're still in the menu, and it basically just makes Link jump horizontally huge distances based upon how long you hold down or forward or down or up.
Nice.
So you don't even have to sail sometimes.
Nice. Now this one was a lot more. Okay, I need to put a bomb here. Need to put a bomb here. I need to put a bomb here. Need to throw a bomb here. Perfect. That bomb went off. Now I need to stasis this tree. Now I need to hit the tree a bunch. Then I need to blow up the bomb. So now the tree is going to go flying in a specific direction. I need to climb on top of the tree, release the stasis, and go flying with the tree.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's awesome. That's really cool.
It's amazing. There's this thing like they were talking about. There was this trick that they learned that was relatively new, so it was like one of the first times it was being done during a speed run. They're like, oh yeah, this trick was found out like 2 weeks ago. So you hit an enemy that's got a shield with the woodcutter's axe, de-equip the axe that you hit the enemy with, then you're able to take the shield off of the enemy without hitting him, and then you can just keep running. They're quite literally pickpocketing enemies, and it's amazing.
That's pretty sweet.
That, and I kind of watched Super Hot VR get beat real fast, and normal Super Hot.
Yeah, I think I watched that exact same one. The last level involves jumping or vaulting onto like the ceiling or ceiling overhang, if you want to call it that. That was actually a really impressive run.
I just love the fact that they explain what they're doing during their runs. It kind of makes everything a lot more like, oh yeah, I understand what's going on, rather than watching League of Legends. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Overwatch today. Watching Overwatch and seeing some amazing plays and someone just barf out gobbledygook.
Yeah, Overwatch's spectator mode hasn't necessarily been great, but as you allude to, we'll talk about that soon enough.
Besides that, I got addicted to a show called Glow.
Glow, Netflix original.
Yep, Netflix original. Gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Scott, are you interested in gorgeous ladies of wrestling? My iPad went to sleep. I think we lost Scott.
Oh man.
Let me unsleep my iPad real fast. Go to Discord. Why do all my things hang up on Scott? Hey, Scotty.
Scott, you're still recording, right? Okay, that's good. Yeah.
What's the last thing you remember?
Okay. Well, we talked a little more about Breath of the Wild, and we're going to leave it at that. Oh, what's up? Are you going to get a power cable for it, or?
No, I was going to just turn it on.
Turn it on?
Like, make it not go to sleep
anymore?
anymore?
Oh, yeah, feel free. Do what you need to. Keep recording. We're going to just take a quick breather. So, just to be clear, have you played any Uncanny Valley since last week?
Nope.
Damn.
Have you played any Uncanny Valley since last week?
I've played a lot, and that game stresses me the fuck out. We'll talk about it in due time.
Sweet. I was pretty sure that was going to stress me the fuck out too, so...
I think you talking about it made it... Well, I'll bring it up. What did we just get done talking about? We
I
finished up
said that
Zelda.
I've finished up Zelda, and the only other thing I've really been doing is been watching some gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Glow.
Scott, what do you think of gorgeous ladies of wrestling?
It's awesome.
That
Is
Oh.
this?
I'll preface it by this, Scott. Lizzie left home for one day. She was going somewhere, and I had a couple of hours by myself. So I was like, I'm gonna start watching some new stuff that's out. So I kind of started. I watched the Fastest Finger anime, and I was like, okay. Then I tried out the Castlevania anime.
That
No, just 4 episodes in. But so then after watching an episode of Castlevania, thinking, okay, that was pretty interesting. So let me watch an episode of Glow real fast. And then 4 episodes later, Lizzie was coming home. And I was like, fuck, I gotta start watching this again with Lizzie. Oh yeah. And Allison Brie does not look like Allison Brie.
She looks super skinny.
She's the main character. Yep. She's got certain scenes where the Allison Brie that you knew comes in, but otherwise she's very different looking. I was actually Googling, me and Lizzie were Googling and comparing contrast pictures from her from Community versus her from Glow. You're just like, nah man, these are 2 different people. She lost a butt ton of weight, a scary amount. Exactly.
it's called cocaine and meth.
I don't know, and I don't have a way of checking.
It.
No, I think her eyes are brown.
Oh, just the eyes, of course. It wasn't the weight she lost. Oh my gosh. Right, Scott. Do you tell that to Sierra? I don't waste my time looking at your body. Get those away from me. Get your hands away from me. I only want your eyes.
Her face looks really different.
What is this ice cream scooper for? Your eyes, of course.
Well, that turned dark.
Alright, so I don't know who the hell Allison Brie is, so I just took a look at some pictures, and she doesn't.
Oh yeah.
If not, oh god, I can't remember the actor's name in Community. There's a guy that I
Donald
followed.
Glover.
Well, obviously Donald Glover. But there's another guy that
Abed? I don't know his real name.
Mophead, like the guy with the
Abed?
curly hair. Oh,
No.
no, never mind. I thought you said Mophead, and I was like, yeah, the
Abed.
curly hair guy.
Curly hair guy from Community?
Yeah, I don't think he was a major character, but he's done a lot of online comedy, YouTube videos with a small, not so relevant, comedy trope or troupe or whatever you call it. But I've always liked his weird sense of character and humor, I guess. Or maybe the troupe's humor. Well,
It's a really good
Yeah.
name for a comedy troupe. Rest in peace, Childish.
Special degrees or whatever.
Oh, it is. Oh, his say is Pop Pop.
at some point. I've seen enough of Allison Brie's cleavage now to for a lifetime, I think. Thanks, Google Images. Okay, I'm glad because I looked up paintball. I was going to wherever Google Images was recommending me to, and it ended with Allison Brie Community Paintball. Those words in that order, and just every shot it seems like, or not every shot, but every other shot was like, here's a lot of cleavage in your face.
And he's sorry.
All right.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on from there. Glow, good show. Can you describe to me like what the premise is?
A down under luck actress from Omaha lives in Los Angeles, mid 80s, can't get a role because she just looks common. So,
Which is Allison Brie, I'm assuming.
which is Allison Brie, and she gets cast for a show called Glow, which is a knock on the WWF, WWE around that time. So Hulk Hogan was really huge, Andre the Giant, Gorgeous George, things like that. And basically they're just learning how to wrestle and Glow. They're just learning how to wrestle and trying to put on this show and have it record. They got like 5 weeks to do it, and there's lots of backstory going on, and yeah,
Character development,
yeah, it's great.
past histories, problems being solved, new ones being found.
Yeah. General show structure.
Are you going to watch the second episode of Castlevania?
No,
It was bad.
it wasn't good.
Okay. Meaning it was... Is there any reason you don't want to say it was bad?
Because it wasn't really bad. Like, it had good art. I'm not doing this show justice. It's like, I was kind of sleepy when I started the show, and it didn't help my kind of sleepiness. And there was, like, a lot of setup of a lot of things. Like, it was kind of interesting watching the transformation of who I'm guessing the main bad guy is of the Castlevania series.
Dracula?
Yeah. And the main character of the Castlevania series might...
There are a bunch, but
In
that would be
there.
Trevor in this case.
I think
Trevor
he showed up
Belmont.
Yeah, Belmont.
But then I also heard that Alucard's in it as well.
Possibly. There were a lot of names being thrown around. Mr. Tepish lost his wife, got angry, told the humans they got a year to pack this shit up and leave. They didn't. So, life. But, so I started the episode sleepy and I ended the episode sleepy. So I can't really, say yay or nay. I was kind of bored. Lots of backstory. Lots of talking. Some action. Really good animation. It's like a really, really crisp art style. I really like that. Good sound design. Great lighting.
Every reason you could watch a show, it's good, except it's boring.
Kind of. It might not even be boring. Like I said, I was sleeping when I started it. It didn't help. Then I was sleeping when I started Glow, and I was like, I might just take a nap during Glow. If it's not good, then Annie's boobs were quite literally in that show. And then, the rest is history. It's a good show. It's a good show.
What else have you been up to this week?
I bought spray paint.
Gonna graffiti up some places?
Mm-hmm.
The garage?
Yes, and someplace else. Because I got this glow-in-the-dark spray paint, but it's not really going to glow in the dark unless it's, exposed to sunlight. So I'm going to have to, really do some illegal shit.
Set up some elaborate mirrors.
Yeah, but then I'd have to keep my garage open all day.
Yeah,
Then I guess the mirrors wouldn't be elaborate enough. I'd have to, set the first mirror up in the front yard, pull it all the way through the backyard, and throw it into the little window that's in my garage.
Exactly. Or do a really elaborate set going from your front living room window through the living room, down to the foyer, and then down the stairs and through the door to the garage.
Ooh, I like that setup even more now, actually. Yeah.
Incredible machine. Too bad it's only going to be good for like 1 hour tops. And then the angle changes slightly.
I'm not even going to give it an hour. I'm going to give it maybe like a minute and a half.
Are we moving on?
Yeah, I'm done.
So,
Oh. Yeah?
Scott, do you want to go first, or? Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you've been out camping.
Ooh.
Oh,
No,
it's the
no.
other way around.
Yeah, you were right the first time.
Was it because you were naked?
So also, I hear if you get attacked by wolves, you can throw a torch at it, and it might scare them away.
In my limited experience with bears, thanks to MGS5, I know it can take quite a handful of sniper rifle rounds. Because black bears are more dangerous, right?
So
Sounds like a great fucking plan. Go camp with some bears.
campable.
Right, not to mention, part of the act of camping is also eating and having food. You make ramen, the bear's not gonna come. The bear is afraid of sodium. Maybe that's the key.
Oh yeah, options. And like
Oh, there are multiple endings.
what is your character name? Oh yeah.
We'll have to talk about it more once you've reached that point.
So do you think you'll be able to translate your real life camping experience to your long dark camping experience? Oh, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Stupid fucking guy. That's what you think. This is this is Scott's playthrough plus.
Once you get eaten by that bear, you'll just suddenly wake up at the same woods again.
But you'll be a little more prepared.
Well, I was trying to determine whether or not I'd start with this or end with it, but
Looks like he's starting with it.
actually, I'm changing my plans because there's a good segue. So there's a game that Cookie mentioned last week called Uncanny Valley, and I've gotten a handful of hours into that game, which is a weird hybrid between 8-bit and 16-bit art with the combination of like more modern lighting effects, just like so many other games do out there where they embrace that pixel art style. But you can't say it's necessarily 16-bit because the pixels are like awkwardly larger than they would be on like a Super Nintendo. I could be wrong, but and it utilizes zooms different, like different zoom in and outs, I guess you could say. So like sometimes it's very pixelated, sometimes it's not so much. But when Cookie was telling me about this game, I can't remember if he did this on like on the podcast itself or not, but he was talking about his uncertainty with the game's systems and when monsters would spawn and stuff. And I think that just made me way more scared of what this game was going to be, because I was like overworking myself to the point of like elevated heartbeat even in like the opening scenes in broad daylight, and I couldn't play the game in the dead of night, which I, you know, in hindsight, I probably overreacted quite a bit.
A little bit.
But the game is interesting because you more or less have this ominous history with your main character named Tom, as he decides to take up a remote security job as essentially the night patrol. He has to leave town. He takes a train to get to an undisclosed location, where he then meets up with the regular patrolman, like the day shift, who takes you with his shitty-looking red car over this like snowy, foresty area to this complex that you then are basically given absolutely no instruction on how things work in a gamey way.
Yep.
He just tells you, okay, go and get your uniform, and you look like a security patrol guy, you know, with your blue and your black tie and your hat. You don't get a gun, you get a flashlight, and he basically tells you, unfortunately, I know you get a gun because it gives you the controls at the start of the game. Like, you get all of the controls, so I know you get a gun. Yep, there. Well, you have to. Yeah, you have to aim and then shoot. So on keyboard, on controller, I'm sure it's fine. Like, it's easy to do. But on keyboard, I have to hold control and then hit E to shoot. The problem is that I'm also going to be using WASD to move. Or in any direction, really. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I have to be stationary when I fire because I haven't had a gun yet. But I've gone... Right. I mean, there are some clawy ways I can do this. I play League, so... And you play League. I'm sure we could invent something that would work. But for... well... we'll talk about that soon. But so yeah, the game is very, very ominous, and it's not really as scary once you get a feel for it. It doesn't seem like there are enemies at all during the waking hours, but during the night or the dream hours, there are some terrors happening. But I've played the first 3 days a couple times now because I realized immediately I was not getting anything done properly the first time through.
Exactly.
But I'll also say, I don't think you have to do anything, because I scoured the entire building in my first night, or day 0, because I don't think it has a day number, and the next day you have day 1.